Yo, 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 yo. What's good with it? It's the homie Mac. Music, art, culture, knowledge. Each one teach one. Reporting live from the Dogon. Yeah, thumbs up, give me the likes. Thumbs up, give me the likes. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Enough with the formalities. Let's get right into it. I normally don't like talking about dating and relationships and all this stuff, but those things that the commentary concerning that dating, marriage, love, relationships, all that, it's very ubiquitous throughout our culture. I think it's very interesting how I feel like the way that we were designed as human beings, separate from God, just like in a biological sense, like we're designed for connections. We're designed to exist in community. We're designed to have connections with depth. You know, we're all wired to want to be loved. We're wired to love. We're wired to show affection. And I think, increasingly now in society, it seems like it's cool to be stoic. It's cool not to feel. It's cool to just disregard everybody's feelings. Like, that's what makes you strong. You're tough. You are, what's the word I'm looking for? You are impenetrable. You are intrepid. I think that sucks, but that's a whole other conversation. I specifically want to talk about Derrick Jaxn. I'm in a space now in my life where I realize most things are a hustle. And I'm realizing, people like to hear stuff that makes them feel good, myself included. But I think it's kind of like Nietzsche said, like Friedrich Nietzsche said. He said a lot of people don't like to hear the truth because it'll destroy their fantasies. My thing is this: I don't want to be so caught up in a narrative that I want to hear that I don't want to know what is objectively real and objectively true. Derrick Jaxn, I know you never thought you'd hear commentary on Derrick Jaxn and someone would quote Friedrich Nietzsche. But anyway, I really don't have no issue with Derrick Jaxn because I realize he's a hustler. We live in an increasingly gynocentric society. There are more feminist leanings that are going on now, probably more than ever. To a certain extent, I do think it's good, but I think sometimes it gets to the point, I think, where men are inherently demonized, and I think it also gets to the point where women have no accountability unto themselves or anyone else. But I think Derrick Jaxn, again, he sold a narrative. Girl, you are perfect as you are. Girl, these men just need to get right. Girl, you are beautiful. There is nothing wrong with you. Love yourself. Abandon anything that does not serve you. Blah, 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 blah. And I think there's some degree of truth in that. But I think when you get to a point where the dichotomy becomes women flawless, men bad, and on the opposite of that coin, men bad, men good, men flawless, women bad. I think when those narratives are sold, I think it's very dangerous. I guess the thing that amazed me about Derrick Jaxn, he packaged I'm trying not to use the word females. I'm trying to figure out. He basically packaged women's biases and women's leanings. He packaged it and sold it to women, and he made a lot of money off of it. Still making money off of it. And I think the very interesting thing about Derrick Jaxn was just how he was the guy that he was warning women about, but they couldn't see it because he was so busy stroking their ego and telling them what they wanted to hear. I would even say when he got caught cheating in the cheating scandal or whatever, some women had a degree of Stockholm syndrome for him. Oh, he probably did it because his wife, she wasn't doing what she was supposed to do. Like, making excuses for him. Literally, like, pretty much the narrative that they would not be sold, justifying them being cheated on themselves. They're justifying, they're flipping that, giving that narrative, and being empathetic towards Derrick Jaxn. Even like even though, I hope that makes sense. Just basically what they wouldn't want done to them as women if they got cheated on. You know, them being victim blamed and shamed and all that. They did it on behalf of Derrick Jaxn to his wife. Yeah, I guess a picture leaked where Derrick Jaxn was out somewhere. It looked like he was out in Miami or somewhere, getting his MACK on. I don't know if that's his new girlfriend or whatever. He had on he had the chest out, shirt, had the drink. Admittedly, the girl that he's with now looks nothing like his wife, his ex-wife rather, Denia. I'm not sure how you pronounce her name. And my thing is, I think black love is becoming more and more superficial and fleeting. And I'm not saying that in context of Derrick Jaxn's marriage. I don't know what the heck they had going on in their marriage. I don't know. I'm not even here to speak on that. It's just more or less, I'm using Derrick Jaxn as an example. But more than anything, again, black love is becoming more and more fleeting. I think we're very narcissistic. We're very ego-driven as a society. And I don't think people understand the components of marriage, especially if you're speaking from a biblical context. Marriage is not about you. Let me say that again. Marriage is not about you. I've learned, my parents, RIP to my mother, my parents were married for over 40 years. I want to say 44, 45 years. And the main thing I learned from their interaction is, if you are not ready to serve, don't get married. Let me say that again. If you are not ready to serve, meaning serve your partner, even to a great extent serve your community, because to me you serve your community by fomenting a bond with your partner, nurturing your children, creating a healthy family unit. I just feel like if you're not disciplined or open to doing that, marriage probably isn't for you. And a lot of times when I hear people get divorced, it just seems like there's a lot of selfishness that's rife throughout the relationship. Like people just want, take, but no one really wants to be giving of themselves. No one wants to actually be selfless. And I just think you have a lot of men, I'm going to put some heat on the fellas. I think you have a lot of men who are, how you say this? I think you have men lusting after bodies, even marrying bodies. And I think you have a lot of women that are just marrying security or marrying money. And I mean, that's nothing new, I don't think. But it's just, I feel like you have these people who have these false premises for their marriage that want to go and spread this gospel talking about what marriage is and isn't. The thing is, like, your intentions were wrong in the first place. Now, if you learn from that and you want to tell people, hey, be more substantive in who you marry, think about long-term, in-depth stuff, not just body parts and money, that's different. But for the most part, I just feel like you have these people who they're promulgating these false narratives because their hearts weren't right to begin with when it comes to the opposite sex or marriage. They want to tell you what marriage is and isn't. But yeah, I really, honestly, I really wonder what the institution of marriage is going to look like 30, 50 years from now. I feel like we're such a selfish generation. I think sex has become more accessible than ever. Just on your phone. These kids that are coming up that are seeing these IG models and influencers and like, I think a lot of things are increasingly hypersexual and just increasingly shallow. I don't know what love and marriage looks like in the future. Especially when I think the way it's packaged is it's not about devotion, it's not about selflessness, it's not about giving. It just seems like it's more shallow and tawdry, gaudy. Look, me and bae, relationship goals. Matching outfits and trips overseas. That's not love. And I think just in general, people want the perks of love, but they don't want to plant the seeds for love to germinate. You know, in the nation of gods and earths, love is defined as a higher understanding. How do you get that understanding? You get that understanding by relating to and learning your partner and developing more empathy and compassion for them, understanding their paradigm, understanding their triggers, traumas, all that, because it's quite nuanced. And I'm not saying cater to their insecurities and their traumas and triggers, but help them grow. Help them grow. I guess, and people, when I get asked for relationship advice, my simple thing is this: like, if y'all aren't making each other's better, if y'all aren't making each other's lives easier, if y'all aren't learning from each other or putting each other on, what's the point of y'all being together? But they say you can do bad all by yourself. But nah, my pushback, I know I'm oscillating back and forth. My pushback with Derrick Jaxn, though, is I grew up in the era with Oprah, Waiting to Exhale. I was always just sold these narratives like perpetually of just women being victimized. You know? And I felt like when I actually started dating, I just figured, okay, I'll be a good guy. I just won't do what these bad guys do. Only to come to find out a lot of these women are worse. They're worse than the men that they castigate and complain about. Way worse. But this is not about bashing women. I'm not trying to do that. I guess I'm just saying, just in general, there's just not a lot of accountability. I would say especially, I mean, with men too, but I would say more so with women. I've even been approached about building up my YouTube channel. They're saying, well, you know, Mac, if you kind of catered more to women and told women what they wanted to hear, your followers will probably go up even more. Like, you're doing good now, but, you know, if you want that extra push, just, you know, cater to women a little bit more. And it wasn't even catered to women as far as, like, building self-esteem or positive affirmations. It was more or less you build up, in the process of you catering to and building up women, the best way to do that is to crush men. And I'm not with that. I just feel like we need to pull each other up, men and women, male, female, masculine, feminine. But yeah, one of the things that I don't like is I feel like people have been going in on Derrick Jaxn's ex-wife, saying that she was a lame, saying that she was cuckoo, whatever. I don't know her. I don't know her. She did something where she was reciting some verse from the Bible. I thought the way she did it was kind of, I don't know, it just seemed a little odd, strange. And then one time she did some praise dance stuff. I didn't quite understand her angle. But there's someone for everybody, right? I just think, I don't know. Hopefully, I hope ultimately that people get with people who help them grow. Get with people that are patient with them. Get with people that want them to become their best self. You know? I just feel like there's a lot of manipulation. There's a lot of controlling. There's just a lot of shallow, just backwards behavior. And we're calling it love. But yeah, I wish the best for Derrick Jaxn. I wish the best for his ex-wife. And their kids, more importantly. I hope their kids are good. But I hope in general, like, just our dating culture, it just, it needs to be gutted. I think people need to be more honest with their intentions. I think people need to be honest about who they are. Like, you know, I think a lot of people have a inflated sense of self, and they feel like they're owed everything. So I think a lot of people are just like hyper egotistical to their own detriment. But yeah, we're in some really shallow times. I don't think people really understand the concept of family, the family dynamic, how you build, you know, strong families build strong communities build strong nations. I think we're lacking that in the black community. I feel like at this point, the most revolutionary thing a black man can do is marry a black woman, forming a healthy family unit. I think that's the most revolutionary thing a black man can do. I think one of the most revolutionary things a black woman can do is be on board with that. We need each other. Anyway, it's the homie Mac, Music Art, Culture, Knowledge, each one teach one. Peace and love. Thumbs up, give me the likes. Signing off from the Dogon, it's the homie Mac, man. I'm out. Thumbs up, give me the likes.